So, Trevor Noah decides to make a heartfelt video about Rashard Brooks and everything that happened involved. Let's talk about it. Okay, so Trevor Noah, host of The Daily Show, made a video last night talking about what happened to Rashard Brooks. All right, it was a heartfelt video. Let me tell you something. Nobody likes what happened to Rashard. Nobody. It was horrible. The guy even said when he was talking to the cops that he had some little girls. It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. But some things I have a problem with what Trevor Noah had to say about this, okay, in his video. Let's get into it.
Every part of that normal story turns into the abnormal ending that we've come to know as interactions with police and black people. Because the police try and arrest him. He resists and he wrestles with the police. In the scuffle, they try and tase him. While he's being tased, he grabs the taser, he gets up, he runs away. And I'm missing a few beats of the story because I don't want to take you through too much of it, but that's essentially what happens. Rashard runs away and the police chase him. As he's running, he shoots off the taser, and one of the cops switches his weapons from a taser to a gun and shoots Rashard 2 or 3 times in the back.
Okay, first problem I have with this is that he's downplaying what actually happened. Okay, yes, Rashard was very calm with the police officers before they decided to handcuff him. Okay, he says he resisted. No, he didn't just resist. He beat the hell out of these 2 cops, okay? And he stole their taser. And notice what Trevor Noah does to downplay what actually happened. He says he grabbed their taser and he points his hand to the air and he says he shot it. Okay, no, he did not just shoot it. He aimed it at the police officer and shot it. And this is why it's so important to pay attention to the details in the video and what these guys are peddling, what these leftist liberals are peddling to you about this Rashard Brooks case, okay?
It's in the most perfect way possible. We should try and break it down and understand how something like this comes to be, because we don't always have video like this. We don't always have stories like this. And we don't even always look at it like this. But let's just take a moment to talk about what happened. You have a man who is sleeping in his car, right? A man who's sleeping in his car and he's drunk. Was he drunk driving? Let's say he is, right? So he's broken some law, a law not worth dying for.
Okay, this is another thing he did. Rashard was drunk and he was sleeping in a Wendy's parking lot. Did he drive drunk? Nah, I don't know. I guess he just conjured himself there in the middle of the Wendy's line getting a burger, okay? Of course he drove himself there. The reason why he wants to do that is because he doesn't realize Rashard was drunk. All right, there's no getting around it. He was drunk. He passed out in Wendy's parking lot. Of course, he drove his car there, and he put everybody else on the lot on the road at risk. All right, he says, did he deserve to die for that? Probably not. I would be in agreement there. However, if he would have left his house and hit a little girl or hit a family, an unsuspecting family, and killed a bunch of those kids or a bunch of kids anywhere, what would he have to say then? All right, he put everybody else's life at risk by driving in drunk. All right, I'm sick and tired of people downplaying the fact that this guy was drunk. You don't drink and drive. You don't even get buzzed and drive, okay? Because you put everybody at risk. Don't downplay it, Trevor. The guy was drunk. He was driving. He put everybody else at risk. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. And he's not the only one that's doing that.
We can all agree on that. The police approach him, and even then I asked the question, why are armed police dealing with a man who's sleeping in his car?
Okay, the reason why armed police shows up for a man that's drunk or sleeping in his car, that are armed, is because that guy that's sleeping in that car, he could have a gun. He could have prior convictions and have drug convictions, have drugs on him. He doesn't want to go back to prison. That's a huge chunk of your life you're going to lose. He could be combative. That's why you have a gun. That is why you have a gun. At all times, as a police officer, you should have a gun. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Send the Girl Scouts to go take care of this stuff?
He posed no threat to anybody. No one at Wendy's felt afraid. Cars are driving around him. He's not stopping people from ordering food. So,
okay, I seen the video. Yes, he was stopping the line. Yeah, they were driving around him, and he was making everybody was upset. Apparently, he was hindering Wendy's business. These people depend on the business to feed their families. So yes, he was hindering traffic.
From ordering food. So why are armed police there in the first place? That's the question I feel like. These are all the questions we need to ask. Why?
I've answered some already. It doesn't take a rocket science. Trevor Noah is a smart guy.
Police, the first people who have to go and respond to somebody who's sleeping in their car who is drunk. Secondly, why do the police not give, the man says to them, I will walk home. If you're protecting and serving people, what is the true purpose of you not wanting people to drive drunk? It's that you don't want them killing themselves and other people. In this instance, no one had died because of his driving, and he hadn't killed himself because of his driving.
Not this time. Not this time. We have laws in place to de-incentivize people from driving drunk. We're supposed to stop it before it even happens. All right? That's why. It's not hard. It's not rocket science, Trevor. You're a smart guy. Yeah, he didn't kill anybody, thank God. But he put everybody else at risk. And a lot of people die every year of drunk driving, or people that weren't drunk and drunk drivers hitting them. It's not that hard, man.
And so as a police officer, maybe it's because I live in a utopian world where the police are truly just trying to protect and serve, not trying to write enough tickets, not trying to get enough people arrested, not trying to fill quotas. No, they're trying to protect and serve. In that instance, you would hope a policeman would say, sir, you do not look fit to drive. You said your sister lives around the corner. You said you live, we'll take you home. We didn't find you driving drunk. We found you asleep in a car. So we'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
No, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, 1, he was in the driver's seat. 2, the keys were in the ignition. 3, he wasn't just parked in the parking lot. He was parked like halfway in and halfway out of the drive-thru. There was cars having to go around him and all sorts of stuff. He was passed out right there. There's a reason why they called the cops, Trevor. It's not that hard, man. You can't give him the benefit of the doubt. I guess you can. Okay, so somebody drove in there who is not there anymore, parked halfway in and halfway out of the drive-thru, went in to use the bathroom, and then Rashard decided to jump into the driver's seat and fall asleep. Was that what happened? Really? That dog ain't gonna hunt, brother.
The country's burning down because of the way black people are dealt with by the police. So let us show you just in a moment that it doesn't always have to end the way you think it has to end.
First of all, white folks are killed a lot more than black folks by police officers, okay? This is just a 4-year thing where they pretend like police are after black people. They're not. Black people usually commit the majority of the crime. I know that the murder in the U.S. is like 40% committed by like 13 or like 6% of the population. I can't remember the statistics by heart. I think it's like 56% of murder is committed by African Americans, which are only about African American men, which are only about 6% of the population. Okay, but for some reason, liberals have figured out that black folks, they are triggered by racism, okay? And this is how they drum up their votes every 4 years, by creating this false narrative that that white people and police are after them, and it's just not true. Quit breaking the law, man. And there's a lot of factors involved in why that is, okay? I don't think they're racially predestined to commit crime. I believe it's a lot with poverty and single motherhood rates in the black community. And hey, white folks, you guys need to work on that too, because you guys are just as bad about that single motherhood stuff. And it's got to stop. It's got to stop for all races, but especially black and white people alike. Latinos, I mean, I know they have a little bit of a problem, but Asian people have it on point, man, as far as like the single life. They stay married. And we need to do the same thing. We got to quit getting divorced. And we got to quit just knocking up these women and leaving them there. And women, you got to do better in picking your man.
You know what's messy about this whole thing is we forget you are dealing with a drunk person. You're dealing with somebody. The very fact that you're not allowed to sign a contract when you're drunk, the very fact that you're not allowed to do anything when you're drunk, tells us something about drunk people. We know what a drunk person is in society. They're not going to do the logical thing. So as a policeman, if a drunk person does an illogical thing, I feel like you should acknowledge the fact that they're drunk.
But in the justice system, being drunk isn't a excuse for breaking the law. It never has been, and it never will be, because if you go and rape a girl and claim that you're drunk, that doesn't change the fact that you broke the law. Okay? And I mean, Rashard was intoxicated, but he seemed like he was pretty coherent as far as like conversation. Now, being around the cops when you're drunk and you're about to go to jail, I mean, it sobers you up pretty quick. And he was trying to talk his way out of it, and it seemed like he was pretty coherent as far as from my point of view.
It doesn't mean they deserve to die. They're drunk.
No, they don't. No, they don't deserve to die because of they're drunk. But when you put a police officer's life at risk, you forfeit your right to live. You can't sit there and you can't do what Rashard did. And I'm going to fast forward a little bit because like the part at the end is ridiculous, and because I'm just running out of time and I just don't want to listen to this guy anymore.
Well, if you didn't resist arrest, you would still be alive. Or if you didn't run away from the cops, you would still be alive. Well, if you didn't have a toy gun and were 12 years old in the middle of a park, then you would have still been alive. Well, you know what? If you weren't wearing a hoodie, you would have still been alive. Well, you know, if you didn't talk back to the cops, you would have still been alive. If you weren't sleeping in your bed as a black woman, you would have still been alive. There's one common thread beyond all the ifs. If you weren't black, maybe you'd still be alive. Well,
Okay, and again, like I said, a lot more white folks are killed by police. I mean, than black folks. All right, it's just the truth. And black folks commit a lot more crime. I'm not trying to beat you down or anything. I like to treat everybody as an individual, but the statistics don't lie. I mean, you guys are running in with the black folks have run-ins with the cops a lot more than white people. All right, and I mean, if you look at the statistics, white people are usually killed a lot more, but you just don't hear about it, and the media doesn't report it because it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't fit their political agenda. Like I said, every 4 years they drum up this racial narrative to win the black vote, to try to get black folks to vote for liberal Democrats whose policies impoverish more black people. I mean, it's not very, it's complicated and it's complex, but if you use common sense, you can see what happens or what's happening. Okay, they drum up this so these liberals can gain power, and then they enact more policies that make black people more impoverished. Okay, and then they present a solution to these black folks, and then they vote for them. I mean, it's a bad deal. We got to do better. Guys, that's it for this video. I appreciate you guys. I just wanted to share this with you. Trevor Noah. The guy's not very funny either. All these daily shows and all these talk shows and stuff, they're not funny anymore because they've been politicized so much that it just takes all the fun out of everything. But just like sports. All right, guys. Hey, I appreciate you. And like I said, the podcast is coming. If you want to support us, go to our Patreon account. Leave the link in the description below. If you want to comment, please do so. Please comment. Please give me a like and subscribe. Please. Also, if you want to email us, give us your suggestions, talk crap to us. Hey, we're down. Go ahead and hit it. Links in the description below as well. Hey, God bless you guys and your family and your friends. Bye.